Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to my second layout for Challenge Accepted. Kathy and I are really excited about our challenge that we're taking on this week. It's from Inspired by Memories, and it's week 3 on their challenge site. And I'm going to bring it up here so that we can really see it. This is a sketch I'm to use with a one-word title. I am to use 2 techniques, so I have to choose 2. I have to do stamping, stitching, stenciling, watercolors, embossing, a backed cut file, and I have to use 2 of those. And then I have to use one of these color palettes. So these are really exciting. There's lots of components to these challenges, which I am so feeling. And I did read on their site that if you complete all 4 weeks, you get entered into a drawing for the Vicki Boutin Mixed Media background pad, which I have one of those pieces of paper that I received, and it feels almost like canvas. It is the bee's knees. So I would do it. I'm going to try to do it. I just discovered these great challenges. So this is what I have so far. I'm going to use this photo of my youngest daughter. Her name is Ryan, and she was dressed up for going to an award ceremony at her college for the sport she plays. And and then I wanted to show you the color palette I'm going to use is Lime Twist-ish, because I'm kind of having to go a little ishy here. Now we have to use these colors. The green, the pink, the teal, and the black. Black, no problem. Pink, I'm just going to go with a lighter shade of it. The green, a lighter shade, as well as the teal. So I'm going to stay in those colors. And what I'm going to use is this kit that I have from the Scrap Room Kits, this Heidi Swapp kit from a month ago. And if you can see here, a lot of the colors that are in my colors here also are represented in this kit. Like, oh my, look at this right here. Now, I mean, should I just do that and say I'm done with my layout? Because I kind of feel like that would take care of it. But one must be brave and do the sketch as well. And here's my sketch that I'm going to work on. Not sure how this is going to go, but I do know I need a one-word title. So I have got to come up with that ASAP. So, and I've got to figure out, my plan. I just know the color palette I'm doing, and I don't even know what my techniques are going to be yet. So I'm going to figure it out, and then I'm going to go ahead and fast forward the next part of this video. All right, we'll see you in a minute. All right, so I did already cut out a couple pieces from this one pattern paper that was in the Heidi Swapp set, and I just grabbed out the pink shades because there was bright yellow. There was colors that just were not within the parameters of this challenge. And then I went ahead to my alpha bin and I found this set of alphas I recently purchased from Tuesday Morning, and they are metallic gold. And on the sides of them there is a nice aqua kind of foam. I'm sorry, on the sides there's a really nice aqua blue kind of a color, so we'll pick up the colors in the collection as well. And you'll watch me fight and fight and fight trying to get my package back together, but I'm determined to kind of tidy up as I go along. So I needed to use a one-word title, so I used the word shine because Rye was definitely shining last night. And then I saw in the sketch that it looked a bit like there was an outline around the paper of the sketch. So there was white cardstock, textured cardstock in this kit. So I decided to go ahead and gut it and then trim down my pattern papers, my main pattern paper by 1/2 inch, so I'd only have a 1/4 inch showing on all the different sides, but I think it adds just a little something, maybe a little rest from all the pattern that I'll end up using. So that's what I do there. And oh, don't you love that deep green watercolor polka dot on the back of that? It's a shame that I did not have two of these papers. But if it ever does come along to Tuesday morning, I will pick it up again. I just have a really nice sample of it, and that's plenty. That's fine. So I'm doing my best to kind of center uh, my pattern paper down on my cardstock, and it's ishy, but it is good enough. And then I realize that I have to trim this as well to make it a nice, clean kind of an edge. To keep on my pattern papers with all my pattern papers is what I was doing. So I will go ahead and attach them, but I'm going to offset them a bit more from the side than what you originally saw in the sketch. In the sketch, it's almost like there's two 6x6 uh, bands on the sides, going vertical with a strip in the middle, but I went ahead and just decided to offset it so you can see the pattern paper on each of the sides. And here I'm going to use that little piece of white cardstock that I gutted to further mat the photo of my daughter, just to give it just yet a little bit more resting space, because as you'll see, I like me some pattern and color and all that kind of stuff. Give me an embellishment pack and chances are I will get using it. So this piece here was from the cut apart sheet that was in my kit, and I just cut out the pink on pink rectangle that was in there because once again there was many colors that you would see, and I wanted to keep most of this pink with going ahead and using the other colors that we were assigned. And you didn't see me sew my little rectangle there, but I did go ahead and use some black to sew that piece on, as stitching was one of the techniques that we were given to choose from. So I went ahead and threaded up the sewing machine really quick and switched it out to black, and here we are. She's wearing a black leather jacket as well as a pantsuit, one-piece pantsuit. I don't know what you really call it. Anyway, there's a lot of black in what she is wearing, and that works just fine. And so I will go ahead and I wanted to find some punches. On the original sketch, there's circle punches going down over and over. There's a bunch of circles on the right side, so I did not want to know if I wanted to use hexagons or circles, and I decided to go with circles, but I was just searching through my bin that I keep to the right of my desk to find all the appropriate size punches, because I wanted to bring in some of the green that was on the list, as well as some of the teal color, which I went with kind of the light version of it being more of an aqua. So also in the sketch, there were a couple places where there was the little, it looked like you could do word stickers or little pattern paper or possibly washi tape. So I go ahead and start lining that up on the upper left. And I'm also starting to punch out a few of the circles that I need to be going down the right hand side of my page. And this is where I'm trying to concentrate on bringing in a little bit of the other colors that are part of our challenge. So there you see different colors of pink as well as the aqua and the lime green. And you also see that I'm using the vellum frame above and below the photo that is on the layout. That's just bringing more of the black in, and it's also adding a different texture, because so far everything that I have on my layout is pretty one-dimensional aside from the thread. So, I'm starting to look at deciding what else I need to give my layout just a little bit more life. So punching out whatever color circles will work for the challenge that are on this really great rainbow Heidi Swap. And, well, it's not a true rainbow, but it's a multicolor stripe layout, and it's gorgeous and fantastic and bright and happy and cheerful. So I went ahead and did that. Now at the same time, I'm scrapping along via video chat with one of my girlfriends, and we're just having ourselves a little bit of a time. So that's always nice to be able to scrap with a friend, which is why the voiceovers end up working out ever so well. I do go ahead and cut out another piece of this cut apart sheet that it was on a 12 by 12, but there's all these great pieces that you can use to tuck in and create yet more of an interesting design. So I'm seeing where all my circles are going to end up living on this layout. I have 3 large ones and several of the itty bitty ones. So I am going to start giving them a home, and I'm seeing where I want a straight edge cut off on that one because I want to line it up to the very edge of my pattern paper on the top. And you'll see I'm not going to spend a ridiculous amount of time with placing them. Sometimes I feel like if you get a little bit random with your placement, it adds to it being just kind of whimsical and fun. So I was trying not to overthink it. Squaring up my photo there so that I can go ahead and work around lining up the rest of the embellishments that I will be using on my page. So I do want to also make sure that the additional colors that I've brought into this layout are dispersed. So, oh, you hear my daughter out in the hallway. Okay, so deciding which way I want that lined up on the bottom, and hopefully you'll be able to see it. I think I have to trim a little piece of that as well, and then I put it right to the edge of the lower right on my layout. I do have my little piece of washi tape that's up on the top middle of my layout, trying to keep myself in frame as much as possible. Sometimes when I get scrapbooking, things get a little bit sideways, and we don't always stay perfectly in frame, but I'm trying. We're all trying and learning, right? So once again, Mr. T-square ruler that is used constantly gets to come into play, and I'm trying to make the little guy stay down. And now this bottom piece here, I'm going to quickly realize that I want to trim off some of the legs that are on it because I'm not going to use them all. I just am really using that bottom piece as more of a heavier anchor, although it's vellum, so you do get to see the papers that are underneath it. So it's just plain fun. A little bit of an animal print going on there. And I'm not a big animal print person, but it's like, seems like certain designers know how to use it as a minimal touch in their products, so it's still fun. It's not overwhelming. And I so far have not seen a product line by Heidi Swapp that I have not liked. So here I'm going to go ahead and start getting the placement for my little, I guess, bands. I mean, I could have used pieces of washi tape and it would have looked just right, but I did have these pieces cut off from, they're just offcuts. They're just little pieces cut off from making my layout. So why not use what I have going on? A little snip there, and I think I end up even using that itty bitty pink piece somewhere. So this is the washi tape that came in my kit. It's a very skinny vellum kind of animal print, so that's fun. It's repeating that little touch of black that I want to use in my layout. It's keeping it all ever so fun, and I'm looking to cut a piece of this paper, and I'm just using a little bit of the light color in it. You don't end up seeing those green circles, but I'm once again mimicking what I did on the upper left on my lower right, which is pretty much what the sketch showed as well. I'm trying to keep close to the sketch, but it's never going to be spot on with me. That's just an absolute impossibility. All right, so I'm going to trim the excess right there. It's still loving that green pattern paper. I've got to get over it though because it's gone. Okay, so I am going to also follow up by putting the same black washi down into this little cluster that we have here, and I'll wrap it around the back. And that's starting to look cute, but now I'm like, all right, now it's time to start getting all the goodies on. And it looks like I needed myself a little coffee break there, and you'll see my hands flapping around because my hands are somehow Italian. I'm not, but my hands are. I can talk with them nonstop. So that's where that extra little bit comes in that I said I think I even use that little tiny pink bit. It's just a nice little layering piece that I was auditioning. And this is where I'm going to start putting in all of these fun, bright colored little circles. And I'm going to use them scattered here and there on my page while also trying to remember that I want to have green in different clusters, blue in different clusters, that kind of stuff. That little tiny bin that you see to the upper left, it has all these funny little offcuts for my fun phone. And I do my best to use them up as I go, but I always have offcuts, and this is one of those times that it's a perfect opportunity to use those bits and pieces. Now, what you don't see me doing right towards the bottom is I have my sewing machine about waist height right to the right of me, and I decided that I wanted to sew in 2 more places on my layout so that I have it in 3 different spots. So you can't see my sewing machine, but that's exactly what I'm doing. And you can see the threads hanging off on the upper left right there. And just enough so I can have yet a little bit more texture, and it's following my nice odd numbers rule that I have stuck in my head all the time. But it does add a lot to the layout. It adds a lot to the clusters that there's just a little something something going on there. All right, so now you see that I'm going to start popping my little polka dots every which way, backing them with foam, and some will be backed with foam, some will be flat. It's just I'm working through trying to add a little dimension here and there as I go. And I did grab my cute little itty bitty tape runner. I don't use them all the time, but sometimes when I have tight places, I'll go ahead and use it. And I only have a couple of them, so if I do see them when I'm at Tuesday morning or whatever, I'll pick them up. But my main adhesive is my tape runner, and usually, well, lately it's been my Nuvo glue, but I've also been getting into using up, I have a partial bottle left of KI Memories glue, which is practically vintage, but hey, I've been using this stuff up and I like it. It definitely flows out of the bottle better than my new Diamond Glaze for some reason. I'm not really sure what's going on with that. I'm always having to stick a pin down in my Diamond Glaze to get the flow going again. Alright, so you see I'm making fun little circly cluster bits here and there, and they're definitely not uniform. And I want to make sure that I have those popped up circles going in a few different places on my layout, several places. It looks like I have 4 circle dot spots. And I want to tuck this 1, 2, 3 next to my frame right there, and I love this kit so much that I don't want to waste that extra little stripey bits because I can use them on another layout. So I went ahead and trimmed it, and sure we'll see it showing up on a layout again before we know it. We'll see what happens. I don't know. So this is where I'm like, all right, what else can I add on this? What comes in the kit and what can I add? Because the kits from Scrap Room, the Scrap Room are not complete kits. So one of the benefits to them is you can end up using lots of your own stash mixed in with the kits. So it's one of the reasons why I love that kit club. So I'm, like I said, using this fun word that says shine and putting it in there, and then I do keep a fun bin to my right that has all kinds of bits and pieces. So I'm going to, oh, sorry about the hands. So I'm going to go ahead and grab that shortly because I'm going to end up using all kinds of goodies from there. These two, these die cut corner pieces, you're going to see a black one and you're going to see like that really pale pink. I'm going to add those. You see the tab, and then I found this fun little hot pink sticker that says "Be Fearless," and I thought that worked for a girl ready to go into a sporting kind of event. So that gets put on the side, which is bringing some more of the hot pink in, which it's so funny because this was supposed to be that 4-color layout, but it is primarily pink. There's no way around it. So that's going to go on. Oh, and there's also in this kit some really great little acetate pieces. So I think I used up 3/4 of the embellishments that go into this kit just on this layout. So it lets me know that I need uh, like my own full embellishment pack because the pieces were really fantastic that are in there. So there, I'm getting, like a lot of times the acetate pieces have that little plastic coating on the top. So I was trying to get that off. And I'm going to start with using this little tape runner glue, but later on I will go ahead and add some liquid glue beneath it. And the entire thing's pretty much covered, so it ends up where you can't see what I did. And I'm fighting to get the little clear piece off of this fun heart. Not a big deal, but I really did like it, so that wants to be added in and brought into the layout. So I'm like, does anything else work? So here's my little photo corners, and those were fun. So I put those on. I don't end up using those 2 clear pieces of the acetate that you see on the left right there with the writing, because I didn't want to put the "oh yeah" in because it has lots of orange. And the word "dreamy" has some of that orange in it as well. So I just didn't want to introduce yet another color into this layout. It just seemed like it wasn't going to have the right flow. So another piece of acetate to go up into the top cluster, which I am feeling it. And then this is where I'm like, okay, I want more stuff because I always want more stuff. And I did get a set of these really great gold Heidi stickers in with my kit. So I'm grabbing the open hearts to start, putting those in 3 places. And I believe I grabbed some little closed hearts too. They're puffy hearts, and they're a really nice metallic gold. So that works with my gold title that you see, the one where it says shine. So that is fun. I always like it when these word title sheets have extra little bits that you can include in on your layouts. It's not just alphas, or it's not just words. There's extra little happy bits. So that's what I have going there, and I'm like, do I have enough on there? Do I want more on there? And then I do kind of go, well, I probably should leave some for some other layout. Not that I frequently go with the restraint plan, so I'm putting my extra pieces into my little baggie so I don't lose them. I do a lot of cleanup as I go, and I edit a lot out, but sometimes it ends up in there. So that's where I finally end up putting that little tiny pink bit that I had cut off of one of those border strips, or branding strips, I should say, and I see a little bit of the paper here is sticking up, but I wanted that to be laying a little bit flatter for me. Now, let's see what we have. That is the little bin I told you about that I always have bits and pieces to go through, and I do go ahead and audition these photo corners here, but they're such an incredibly different size than the ones I already have on my page that I did not want to include them. I just decided it was not going to be a go for me. So then I grab right here, and right away I saw this really fun turquoise embroidery floss kind of bow, and I think those are Maggie Holmes. I'm not quite sure. But it is bringing more of that color in, and it's right by the photo, so it's drawing your eye right there. So that's fun. Then I decided I want to try to get 3 of these wood buttons in that are by Chamel. I don't even know what collection they're from. It's just Tuesday Morning has a bunch of these packs right now that are just called embellishments, so it doesn't tell you more than that, but if the colors work, the colors work. So that's fun. I go ahead and find 3 spots to be able to work those in. Oh, and yes, here I am, like switching them around, wanting the sizes to work for whatever I've decided they need to be in my head. Who knows? Who knows, but it works for me. So, so right there you see we have Maggie Holmes, we have some random thickers, who knows. I had Chamel in there, and now I am going to get out these little epoxy enamel shapes, also by Heidi Swapp. I don't know what collection, but these are like a pack with mostly black in them. So this is a way I'm going to bring a lot more black into my layout as well. And I'm going to put it into several different clusters. I'm starting with these really big giant black, not giant black, these larger black enamel dots. And I go ahead and double embellish these photo corners I did with the black pieces in there, as well as these cute little black arrows that I include on these embellishment clusters. So that ends up being fun. And then this is where I decide that I need just a little bit more adhesive on those little see-through bits. Unfortunately, it just did not want to stay down. So that's what I have there, and the layout's not going to change dramatically from this point. I'm deciding what else I can pop on here or what else would be enhanced by it. So I'm grabbing my oversized bin of enamel dots and enamel shapes, and I go ahead and put in 3 really fun limey green enamel shaped hearts. And the color really works well for the Heidi Swapp collection on those little fellas. And I think they might be Doodlebug that I used. And this is where I'm going to start trying a few different pens. I want to see what I can use to put in a little tiny bit of journaling to the right of the photo. And I use that space right there. Now, for some reason, anytime I do journaling lines on layouts, I use pencil. And I think I do that because the graphite gray color just kind of fades away as opposed to the bold black, or if I use navy or whatever, but the graphite of the pencil just doesn't show up that well. And then at the last second, I realized I needed to grab my other techniques, so I went ahead and grabbed some little simple stamps that I have and stamp 3 separate little sentiments in. And I'm just using, I think that's a Prima chalk ink, which doesn't come out super, super jet black. It's kind of nice. It's more of a charcoal. So that it's, if I messed up, you wouldn't see it as well. So I'm not a great stamper, so we don't need anything that's going to mess up the layout at the last second. So you see there, I'm trying to work the little stamp up at the top. And then, let's see, did I get it into the 3 places? I did, so that's great. And I think that was from a former kit club, maybe Citrus Twist Kits or something. I have no idea. I do have these little tiny random stamp sets. So that's where the KI glue comes out as I'm trying to see. You see that I use my diamond glaze first, and then the KI glue works every time. It's never clogged up. I think it's a sign. I should put my diamond glaze into the KI glue container when all finished up because maybe then it won't clog every second. I might try that. Anyway, so I'm going to go live in 1 second. Here we go. All right, I am done with this layout. I think I met all the parameters of the challenge. I did use a sketch, although it kind of went off veer a little bit. The sketch before had kind of a like 6x6 block on each side with a strip down the middle. And what I did is I just kind of offset my pattern paper blocks. I do have the circles that it had going down on the right side, but mine are just scattered throughout my layout as well. I used stitching as well as stamping for my two techniques. I have stitching here, here, and here, and then I did stamping in these little words here. I'll do some close-ups in a moment. I used green, pink, teal, and black, and very possibly in colors that are slightly different from what they came up with, but the colors are truly represented. So, oh, and I used, what did they call it? Let me see. The Lime Twist color palette. And I used a one-word title. So I do think it ended up coming out pretty darn cute using this mostly Heidi swap set. And the foam on my one-word title even has the teal aqua color going on. So that is what we have for today. Had so much fun working on our challenge accepted series for today. So come back next week because we'll have more for you. Bye-bye. Hey, and I also wanted to pop on real quick and say, see the link below for Kathy's link. And be sure to like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff because I do frequently put out videos and I love to hear from you. So leave me a comment as well because I'll get back to you ASAP. Thanks for watching. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.